the director at Society for Policy Studies, joins us now live from New Delhi. Thank you so much for joining us on the program today. Now, both sides managed to maintain peace for some 45 years now, and both China and India immediately called for a de-escalation in violence, and clearly they don't want tensions to rise in the region. What do you predict will happen moving forward?
My sense is that both countries are now engaged in the equivalent of a test of national resolve. Because you're right that since the 1993 agreement between China and India, signed by President Jiang Zemin and Prime Minister Narasimha Rao, not a bullet was fired in anger across the line of actual control, not a life was lost. So this is unprecedented. And for both Prime Minister Modi in India and President Xi Jinping in China, I would describe this as a test of resolve. And what is the objective that each of them seeks to gain with the current standoff along the line of actual control? I think that needs to be carefully studied. What is your political objective?
Right. We've seen a steady buildup of forces by both India and China in the area following the incident. We've seen Chinese soldiers, they're executing military drills, and we're seeing a large presence of Indian troops. Taking into consideration how China's government has used force before along various parts of its own border, what do you think their main goal is here?
The main goal is immediately, it is the equivalent of practicing coercive diplomacy through military intimidation to consolidate a certain territorial objective. I hope that doesn't sound too complicated, but coercive diplomacy is a preferred option of Beijing. They are using military intimidation as they did in the South China Sea, where they used their naval and maritime capability. And the objective is to consolidate a certain aspect of China's territoriality. In relation to India, it's along this unresolved territorial dispute. We call it the line of actual control. India has its own understanding of where its claim line is. China has its own understanding. And at this point, my reading is that in a certain sector in eastern Ladakh, they are trying to consolidate a very important strategic objective, which is relevant to the military preparedness of both sides at very high altitudes in the Himalayas. So that, to my mind, is the Chinese objective at this point in time. So they have broken the trust. I think that is the critical part, Edmund.
So how do you think this particular incident has damaged the broader bilateral relationship between the two countries?
It's the trust factor. You know, what has happened is that Beijing has unilaterally decided to change a status quo that was in place since 1993 in a formal manner, since 1963 in a de facto manner. And I think this is important to understand that at a time when there is a lot of anxiety about the reliability of China as an interlocutor, to me, and I'm disappointed to say this on your television channel, that China does not come across as a reliable interlocutor, and you cannot trust Beijing to keep its word. So what it has done is that the agreement signed about the line of actual control that neither side would do aggressive patrolling or build the equivalent of semi-permanent fortifications has been breached by Beijing, which is why our ambassador, Mr. Mishri, whom you had quoted in the opening remarks, has made what I would call as very firm remarks that the onus is on Beijing to restore the trust.
Right. Commodore Uday Bhaskar, thank you so much for joining us on the program today.